Well, let's bring honor to us all and let's celebrate the 25th anniversary of Mulan. The only Mulan that Disney will ever put out, because why would they ever do that? You know, why would they ever remake this movie? It's just too good on its own. I mean, I feel like if they ever did remake it, it would just be a plain old boring affair. God. Alright, so fearful that her ailing father will be drafted into the Chinese military, young Fa Mulan takes his spot. Though as a girl living under a patriarchal regime, she is technically unqualified to serve. So she disguises herself as a boy and goes off to train with fellow recruits who are all very fun characters. She's accompanied by her pet dragon Mushu, voiced by Eddie Murphy, and she uses her smarts to help ward off a Hun invasion, falling in love with a dashing captain along the way. Now, there's not a whole lot of childhood nostalgia for me with Mulan. I can tell you a story about it though. My first viewing of it was actually, believe it or not, as a sophomore in high school. I know, but I have my AP World History teacher to thank for showing us this movie and giving us a little bit of a background on Chinese dynasties and all that when we were studying those, so thank you, Mr. Barnes. You were a real one. But I was sitting there, and it wasn't really more so an educational experience for me, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, trust me, I learned quite a bit. But I was just sitting there, and I just couldn't believe that it took me that long to find a movie that was this good. But as a critic, of course, I have to take off the rose-colored glasses for this one. What the heck is Eddie Murphy doing in here? Now, trust me, Eddie Murphy is funny, and he does have some clever zingers in here. I wouldn't say he's as funny as he is as Donkey in Shrek. I don't think anything could ever touch that, in my opinion. But looking at the design and everything like that, and where he is and what kind of movie he's in, he just feels very out of place and miscast. But 1998, I kind of get it. Eddie Murphy's a big star, and he's gonna rake in a lot of cash for you. Yeah, I get it. And something else I will tell you before I start gushing about this thing. The villain in this, Shan Yu, the only thing you can really remember about him is that the color of his eyes are inverted. I never really got it either. But this has got to be one of the most bland, boring Disney villains you will ever come across. Like, you could not pinpoint a single line of dialogue out of Shan Yu. Yeah, the design is certainly intimidating, and he's a very imposing leader of the Huns. But goddamn, at least make him entertaining. Which, speaking of, that's exactly what Mulan is. It's just an hour and a half of pure Disney entertainment, while also providing some background about certain Chinese dynasties along the way. It doesn't really go as in-depth on the Chinese history as I would have liked if I really think about it. I think they absolutely could have digged in a little bit deeper and paid greater homage to it, but I just could not help but be so entertained by this. I would liken Mulan to Aladdin as one of the funnier Disney movies to come out during the 90s. And that's not necessarily akin to Eddie Murphy per se, but it's also the very subtleness of Mulan once she disguises herself as that boy and goes off to war for her father, which makes her a very likable and courageous character in her own right, that she would go off and honor her family that way and protect her father. But I love how she interacts with the other soldiers once she does disguise herself as a boy. You ever notice how a guy extends his hand for a handshake and she extends it as if he's gonna kiss it? Really freaking subtle, man. And I just love how quick and how crisp the animators actually made these reactions on these characters' faces. It's just like, it's the stuff of comedy gold when Mulan is smiling at Captain Shang during that iconic song. Which, I'll address it, this soundtrack is pretty darn lit. Of course, you have the opening song, Honor to Us All, which feels very much like Matchmaker from Fiddler on the Roof. You have Mulan's laments towards the beginning, Reflection, which has since become an iconic piece of Disney song lore. And then there's one song that Captain Shang sings that I've used for one too many auditions in the past. Let's get down to business. This is, of course, Donny Osmond singing the song in the movie, and man does he hit a home run with it. And it's really cool to go back and listen to him and hear his voice here. That dude is just a natural performer and a natural tenor if I ever heard one. So all in all, I would say that Mulan is one of the more fun Disney entries that you were going to get out of this Renaissance period. Not perfect by any stretch. Pretty boring villain, a kind of a couple of miscast characters here and there. But I think for what it was, solid the whole way through. Definitely a very funny Disney movie with a great soundtrack that Alan Menken did not compose this time around. And I think if you haven't revisited this one in a while, if you're looking to show this to history classes and what have you, it's not going to give you as in-depth of a look at Chinese dynasties as you would have thought. But I still think there are way worse ways that you can spend an hour and a half of your life. I'm going to give Mulan a B+. Joking aside from the beginning of the video, easily the superior Mulan entry that Disney has put out. This is the one that you should definitely show your kids if you have the chance. Let me know what you thought of Mulan down in the comments section below. And what's your favorite song from this soundtrack? As always, guys, I love discussing all new things in movies and entertainment with you on the regular. All things geeky like Disney related. And if you're a new viewer, do consider becoming a subscriber. And please tap the like button. Really helps get this content out there to more lovely viewers like you. And guys, I am very, very, very excited to announce the next Disney entry that I'm going to be bringing you guys. It's a film that's very near and dear to my heart, and it's turning 20 years old this year. It's the first movie I ever sat through in a movie theater to my memory. We're going to be looking at Finding Nemo, and I cannot wait to start discussing that with you. But guys, y'all are the best. Stay tuned for more videos very soon. And with all that being said, Back Talk, commence.